Yeah, the phrase "fake it till you make it." It's okay. Okay, I'm gonna break it down. To make it is to be successful. You know, to get to the level that you want. That is to make it. Okay, and fake it is you act or pretend that you're there when you're not there. You're here. So fake it is like you have the right clothes and the right car, but you're not there. But you fake it. You present that image until you get there. So you're trying to, what you're doing is you're mentally training yourself. You're projecting. You're mentally projecting that you're there, but you're not there. And you know, there's a great debate in psychology whether or not this is positive, because for some people, fake it till you make it, it works, because if you don't have the vision, if you can't see yourself there, you won't get there, right? So why wait? Let's just pretend it now, and you know, to climb the ladder to get there. But on the other side, there's the philosophy that you're not being real and honest about your position, and this can lead to problems, because you trying to swim in the deep water when you're not ready to swim in the deep water can be a problem. So and that's a financial aspect. That's a financial problem. Yeah, because to be at that level means to spend this much money. If you don't have that much money to spend, what do? You end up borrowing money, and then you have problems because of that. So I think the right way to look at it is fake it till you make it. Is you don't have to not be honest, but you have to be able to, in your own head, imagine being there, because all steps forward come from vision. I mean, if you can't see what you can do to make things better, if you can't see how to make the company better, the company's not going to be better. And there are a lot of people who are good business people, but they don't have vision. They're good at organization, they're good at financing, they're good at marketing, persuading, but maybe they don't know how to be creative. They don't know what the next step is. They don't know. They can't create a new product, for example. They need to work with other people who are good at creating products. So it's. I always point out the difference between the Slovak culture and Scottish culture in looking at the cars that are on the road. Now, if you go to Scotland, everyone is driving an average car. There's no one driving anything really special. Everyone is driving, your average model range family car. And you come to Slovakia, every second car is a luxury car. You're looking at 30,000-40,000 euro car, and that's it doesn't make sense, right? It doesn't make sense. It's not logical in a country which has such economic problems that everybody is going to be rich or successful in that way. And I look at it in terms of the fact that I'm an average person with an average lifestyle, maybe lower than average. And I sold my car and other things last year because I was like, this is economically unviable for me to do all of these things. And yet I'm the only person I know who's done that. Everyone else is going in the other direction. Everyone else is like, okay, it's just I need to buy this car and going this way. It's like, well, I don't think that you really need that as an investment. You could probably take. I'm always going. My brain is always like, okay, how can if I take this money and put this money over here, then it's more practical for me than just having the money here. And this, like, I can, this money in the car is a sort of dead heavy weight, which is,
Car is worse.
Yeah, it's like having a vacuum cleaner into your bank account, right? It's just sucking money out. So and for me, it's I try to look at what's where money's going, where money's stable, and where money can be used to generate more money. And with the car, for me, it wasn't a way to generate more money, so therefore it wasn't practical. So, but I'm like the only person I know who thinks like that, because everyone else is like, oh, I have to have my car. I can't live without my car. So okay, I'd like to see your bank account and see how much money you've borrowed and how much you can't pay back, because I don't think that you're living sustainable lifestyles here. And that's part of that's part of the culture here. It's part of the problem of capitalism arriving so quickly in a country is the same as a child walking into a toy shop. It's the same principle. When you're a little child and you walk into a toy shop, it's like you've entered paradise, right? Yeah. All the fun that you could ever want in one place. And so you want everything. You have a potential to get just a little bit of it, but you want everything. And you have to learn that it's okay to want things, because that's human desire. Yeah. But you also need to learn to control that desire. And that's a lot of what religion is about, and teaching people to have things in limited quantities, in moderation, to have respect, to have gratitude for what you have, to be able to be able to not want things now, but realize you can have them in the future if you work for them. And what people here want is everything now, like the child in the toy shop. They don't have the training in capitalist thinking, which is you have to build capital first. They think, oh wow, I can have everything. But this everything is a system that was built over a long period of time. We're talking 250 years to build an economic system which has some kind of stability. So you can't just enter into it quickly and have everything. Yeah, that would be like walking into a cake shop and eating all the cakes. And you might want to eat all the cakes, but it's not a good thing to do. And in addition to that, there are complex psychological problems, and these are from the religious perspective, which is that you know the story in where Jesus goes out into the desert and he's tempted by the devil. Yeah, and Jesus says, man can't live from bread alone. And bread is representative of the physical world. It's not enough. The devil says, I can give you this and this and this and this and this. You can have all this. in Jesus says, well, thank you, but all of this is not more than the non-physical. Man cannot live from bread alone, and that's the realization that there are far more important things than objects that create images. Because the image, the projection of the image is image, it's magic. There's a language context there. Magic. And all words, this is like deep philosophy, all words come from the concept of magic and images, where magazine comes from. Mag-azine. The root of magazine is magic. The images for people. And the root of all words are ways to connect and change people, but words are built from ideas, and ideas are non-physical. And so words are corruptions of ideas. And everything that is good is actually built non-physically rather than physically. And so that's why character of person, your habits and your thoughts and your ideas which form your habits are the most important thing. And that's basically what, Jesus is saying to the devil out in the desert. So you can give me everything in the world, you can give me the whole world, but the whole world is not more than the non-physical elements of life, which is one of the greatest ideas in history, because it's the idea of hope and self-belief, that as long as you have hope and this idea of self-belief, that you can actually build things and build a better future no matter what you have, which is what people like, the political psychologists, and it's what Barack Obama used in his campaign to become president, and hope and change. Deep philosophical, cultural, spiritual ideas that most people don't understand. That hope is a fundamental principle that connects everyone in the world. This hope, the idea to want, yes, the idea to want a better future, and the fact it's non-physical, so it's spiritual. But then there were lots of games there, because Barack Obama campaigned on hope and change. See, hope and change are actually the same thing. Because what is hope? Hope is the want for something to be different. That's change. You can't have hope and change. It's like, no, that's the same thing. Right? But people's thoughts don't get that far, because they don't understand that this idea of hope is a deep spiritual thing that connects all people and goes way back into deep human psychology. The Slovaks are struggling with this idea that they were hammered down as a culture by communism. And what is communism? And what is the symbol of communism? It's a fucking hammer, right? It's a fucking hammer. I mean, it's on the flag. It's a fucking. It's just it's a hammer on people, and they're not fully aware of the problems. Most people are not fully aware of the problems created by objects. If you know a little bit about me over the last few years, I've tried to give away most of my stuff, because my life is we just collect stuff, right? I mean, look at the magazines, we just collect stuff, and then what's the best feeling in the world? The best feeling in the world is when you've got nothing on your desk, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? You come in, it's like, right? Because you've got this tidy space, and you don't have to worry about all of the things that we have to deal with, because it's all important, but it all sort of how can I describe it? You know, when people get sick or healthy or unhealthy, sorry, and they have heart problems, and they have heart problems because their arteries are they're full of stuff, and the blood can't pass through, and that's kind of what objects do in our lives, right? We need to clean everything out every night. You know, there'll be at some point in time, all of these pieces of paper here are going to be completely useless and old, and they'll have to be burned, right? Or, you know, in a box, and go away, because that's part of what the material world is. That things in the material world, things are only good for short periods of time. And Slovak people still don't get that yet, which is crazy because it's a Christian country and a lot of people go to church and they should get this idea, but even the priests don't get it. They haven't worked it out yet, and it's complicated because a lot of the people that are attracted into the religious ideas are not always people of high IQ. And then these people are then presented as leaders to other people. And if you don't have high IQ leaders of people, you're not going to attract higher intelligent people in there. And often a greater benefit can be provided to society with the creation of a business rather than, you know, the religious aspects, because the as I said earlier, the business gives purpose to people. And that was the job of religion in the past. It was to give meaning to people's life. Why do we exist? You know, what give meaning and purpose to lives? And in the modern world, business does that. It gives meaning and purpose to people in their lives much more practically than religion does. And business is more frequent. You know, business is an everyday thing. And church for people, most people, is once a week, and well, maybe once a year for some people, right? And so, yeah, fake it till you make it. Why do Slovaks have problems with pretending they have money? I would say that the problem is on both sides. And by both sides, I mean, I divide it into male and female, yeah. Because one of the greatest drivers of life forward is the production of family and, you know, genetic inheritance, or having children. And to have children, you need a basic family. To have a basic family, man and woman must come together. So the woman has to provide something the man wants, and the man has to provide something the woman wants. Now, woman provides the children. Historically, women provide the children, and men provide the resources. And religion provides the construct for how to live safely. So it's not always that men are focused on faking it until they make it. The men are looking for women, and the women are looking for resources. And so why does the man have those resources? He has those resources to attract women. And women are attracted to that. They want that. And so, does the man have resources to impress other men? Well, they don't, because the men just look at each other and go, "Don't be fucking stupid," right? because men don't look. Men in general don't care what kind of car other men are driving. They just say, whatever, right? It doesn't really, let's go for a beer. It doesn't matter, whatever. But where it does make a difference is in the feminine aspect of it, where women are like, resources. I need someone to support me and my family and my progeny, my future children, and safety has a connection with the provision of resources. Why was the king so powerful? He could resources, and so women are looking for men who can provide real. Why are young pretty women attracted to older men with money? It's not because it's generally not because there's something physically nice about the older man, right?
Absolutely.
It's because the older men have built resources, and they can provide a relatively comfortable environment or lifestyle for the woman. And the men don't really want it for themselves, right? I mean, do men need cars with heated seats? Men don't need cars with heated seats. Men, like 100 years ago, men were on the horse, right?
Yeah.
Right, it's men who drill the oil wells in the sea. It's men who pilot the rockets and the spaceships. And this is all to drive society forward, to make things a little bit more comfortable for women. Men don't, everything that makes life more comfortable is a resource that attracts women, basically. And that's why people project.
Very interesting philosophy, but very good.
But it's real. It's real. Look at how the world operates. It functions like that. And it's natural, because people want to be safe. And there's of course problems with that, because there's a fine line between safety, security, and being over secure. And people, it works like that, but people don't understand it. They don't know why. Well, why did you do that? I don't know. It felt like the right thing. It's because people are naturally attracted to certain elements. The same way that man wants to have a house on the hill. Doesn't really know why he wants the house on the hill, but he wants the house on the hill. He wants the house on the hill because it's symbolic of being a king, and a king is symbolic of having resources and being able to control things. You don't need it. Which is again what Jesus was saying in the desert. It's like, it doesn't really matter that much. It's not as important as self-knowledge, because with self-knowledge you can understand why you want what you want, which helps you make the right decisions, rather than doing things but not exactly knowing why it is you're doing them. Why do you want to make more money? I want to make more money. Why do you want that job? Well, you get paid a lot of money. Okay, why do you want the money? Well, you want the money because the money is a resource. You can exchange it for other resources, and you can attract a good quality partner who hopefully respects the elements of those resources. But without self-knowledge, without understanding that the physical world is limited in what it can give you, because that which is physical is limited, whereas the non-physical is unlimited. Without that knowledge, we tend to make mistakes, and continue to try to search for comfort rather than self-knowledge. And then we look for easy ways to do things. And easy is not always better. Yeah, easy is not always better. The same way that normal is not always good. And that's my problem with that element of Slovak culture. Je to normálne. Yeah, but that's not good. Right? No, tak čo si, však všetci robí takéto. Yes, but that doesn't mean that it's good the same way that most of what people say is not actually an argument for anything.
Mainstream is not better to
It varies. In general, there are advantages to mainstream things and disadvantages to mainstream things. The mainstream is the way that things are going. You can't exist without it. But to be better, you have to realize that as you increase production, quality decreases usually, and that's not a bad thing. I mean, I buy products that are mass produced, which are not the best products in the world, but they work, and that's what we want. Yeah, like I've got a pen, right? Mass-produced pen, and I'm very happy with it, and it works, and that's good. Not the best pen in the world, but I don't need the best pen in the world. It's okay. It's okay. So, as long as we understand that, and then that's okay, because the best things will always be on the edge. The best experiences will always be on the edge, or on the fringe of society, or the best experiences will always be slightly outside of the mainstream. But there's nothing wrong with the mainstream itself, in terms of anything, because it's that balance of production and quality. You provide something, but obviously you can't provide the best thing because we're all limited. Yes, we can, it would be nice if everybody drove a Ferrari, but it's we have to rely on the fact that the production of Ferraris is on the edge, but that allows the mainstream to exist. Most people don't experience the greatness of everything. They experience an average quality of life. It's just the way it is, That I think of it in terms of sports, right? Most people enjoy doing some kind of physical activity, but they're not going to be the best person in the world at that activity, because you can't be great at everything. So understanding that is also understanding, the fake it till you make it has its limits, because if everyone is faking it, then you got a problem there, because no one's got anything that's real. And you can only fake it when you're supported by people who are not faking it. The unreal is built on the real. It's the difference between building your house on the rocks and building your house on the sand. Right? I mean, it's nice to have a house right on the beach, but the more permanent choice is the better choice, right? I mean, would you? Here's the classic question. Would you rather have a partner in life who was extremely physically a perfect 10, where you had to worry about your relationship, or would you rather have a partner who was a 6 or a 7, where you never had to worry about it, and that's where you understand that the non-physical is what keeps the balance in life? Does that make sense? It makes sense.